The next thing we're going to talk about real briefly, and there are many different manufacturers of weapon cases, both hard and soft, that you may need to consider. Obviously, if you're going to be on a plane flight somewhere, as per FAA regulations, you need to have your weapon system in a hard case. Then you also need to make sure that the state that you're going to allows that particular weapon system into their state, where you could run into some major problems. So there are many websites that you can basically check, make sure that you're allowed into that state with your particular firearm. The first thing I'm going to talk about is a soft case. This is just one variant that I really like. It gives you a lot of flexibility with carrying multiple weapon systems. In fact, I'm going to put 2 weapon systems in this case, but depending upon how they're configured, you might even get in 3, if not 4. I would say 4 strip guns, but definitely 2 kitted out rifles and even a couple handguns and magazines and stuff like that. So this is a soft weapon case. This is if you notice, it's pretty much a square. It's a box. There's no magazines on the outside. It's not curved like a gun. And that's so that if I pull this out of my car, my neighbors aren't having a heart attack, or people in my neighborhood don't know that I'm a gun guy. Some people may think it's cool, but now basically you just put a mark on your house that says I have guns and firearms inside this house. If you ever go anywhere, if you're ever traveling anywhere, and I pull out this case, it could be a gun case, or it could be something that holds my keyboard, because I like music and I'm a music guy, and therefore I tell everybody, hey, this is a keyboard in here. So nevertheless, I like something a little more discreet. This has spots in it for other bags. It's got MOLLE attachments, so if you want to put more pouches and stuff in there, that's fine. Just remember, ounces equals pounds and pounds equals pain. So depending upon how much you decide to throw in here, you could be causing yourself a little bit of pain. I'm going to throw 1 rifle in here right now. I've got it set up for mine. Just make sure, especially if you're traveling to the airport, that these weapon systems are clear. Unfortunately, for some odd reason, they love to have you pull these out in the airports in front of everybody, and the last thing you want to do is have any live rounds in there. And in fact, that's generally what they're checking for. They're checking to see if there are any rounds inside the gun. So nevertheless, you double check it at home. I always like engaging my safety, so I always like charging the gun. That way I can put the safety on and leave it on. I'll close my stock. I'll just lay it in. Again, I've already got it set up for this particular gun. I'll strap it down. One of the reasons why you want to strap it down is so it's not moving back and forth and sliding all over the place. As you can see, this gun that I have right now is a little bit smaller. The bag actually will fit a little bit larger gun. And that's what you want to look at too when you're buying certain cases. First of all, is it going to fit the gun that I have? Because if it's not, then it's probably not the case for you. These MOLLE attachments allow you to lower and raise the gun. I can attach it to different spots on the gun. I could actually move my gun over here and then probably reverse a gun going this way if I needed to. In this case, I don't. I have a small pad in between both of my guns, so I'll just lay this down. As you notice, I'm running lights on this side, so when I insert my other gun over here, what I try to do is keep the secondary gun as flat as possible, because this is going to be sticking up on this side. So in an effort to not put my light systems together, I'll reverse it. I'll secure this one. And as you can see, again, there are many different weapon cases out there. Just pick the one that works best for you. This thing's great because it's a nice soft case. I still have a lot of room in here for suppressors, any other attachments, magazines, my sling, my paperwork if I need to. So you should be good to go with this type of case. I'll close it, zip it up. I even have a strap if I need it, if that's the way you want to carry it. So now if I need to transport it anywhere, I can shoulder it, and then I can walk out with it. So I have 2 guns in here right now. I actually have a little bit more room in here for more gear and more equipment. Again, there are a lot of different manufacturers of bags out here. This is just one of the bags out there that's built really good. And that's what's most important. So a little bit of expense on your part. I know it costs a little bit more money, but if you have that extra money, buy once, buy twice is the way I look at it. So buy a really good product that you know is going to last you, and then you're actually going to pass on to your kids if you end up ever having any. Nevertheless, that's your soft bag. Now, if you're traveling on an aircraft, then you're going to need it in a hard case. Not only are you going to need it in a hard case, but you're going to also need locks on it. So there are a variety of hard cases out there, a lot of which you've probably already seen before. It has foam inside there. One thing you want to make sure is that it's secure, that you can put multiple locks on there to stop them, especially because a lot of the hard cases are really big. So what one company has done is they've allowed you to carry more of a discrete case and actually put it straight inside a hard case, which makes it really nice for when you're traveling. If you ever go to a shooting school or some other gun class that's not in your local area, the great thing is I can get on the plane, I can be within FAA regulations, I can close my case, I can lock it. When I get to the hotel, I'm not dragging this whole big hard case that pretty much says I've got a gun in it through the hotel lobby. I can leave this back in my room and then just pull this out and carry it to my rental car or whatever it is, your regular vehicle, whatever you need to at that point. So now this thing's really secure. This is a padded bag as well. I can close this kit. It's got good positive locking systems. It's got really good durable handles. And as I was mentioning earlier, you want to make sure that you don't just put one lock on here. Because if you put one lock on here, what's going to happen possibly at the airport, and trust me when I say it's happened, lesson learned the hard way, somebody will pop this open and they'll pry this and basically they'll start to work it from in here. So if you only put one lock on here, what's going to end up happening is you may not have a gun on the other side when you get there, and that's a bad thing to happen. So nevertheless, make sure you do put two locks on your case. Some gun systems will have one dead center. The problem with that, a lot of people pop these off and then they'll pry the lid and still be able to get your guns out. So if you end up putting two of these on here, at this point, we can open these up. And I'm not saying that you're not going to get your gun stolen, but I will tell you, it's very hard right now to get your hands in there. You're not going to get my rifle out of there, not quick anyways, okay? It's going to take you a little bit more work. It's not guaranteed that they're not going to use tools or something to that degree to pry this thing open or break your locks off or use bolt cutters, but it's definitely going to slow people down. And that's what you want. You want to be able to slow people down, especially if it's at the airport. I've actually had a case broken into before where they almost got my gun. I had the whole backside of my case pried open, and it was just really too difficult for them. But nevertheless, when it came off the conveyor belt, you could definitely tell somebody had a little bit of time on their hands, pried it, but luckily didn't get it. So nevertheless, just keep in mind, lock system, a good hard case. And the great thing about this, it has wheels on it, because after you put all your guns, maybe some ammo in here, and of course ammo is very specific as well as per FAA regulations, so check with the airlines and then check with the FAA on their regs, but wheels, you're going to want to just wheel this thing around. And the great thing is I have a handle right here, so if I need to, I can roll this along with my normal luggage. So good hard case.